Hello, co-instructors and mentees. I just want to do a quick video of a couple things that I do with the gradebook just to make it kind of easier to organize. First thing I always do, especially with big class, and this session we did have some pretty big classes, is I like to see everyone all at once. Sometimes this scrolling thing kind of just gets annoying. So what I like to do is go to Edit Rows and just maybe, put a ballpark figure. So I think we have just, a little over 20, so I'll hit 30. And then everyone's on the screen. This helps me kind of look at every student, and you can adjust the number to however you feel comfortable. Another thing I like to do is you'll notice at the beginning of class, we have a ton of students, and then slowly they kind of drop off just to sort of eliminate these people so we don't put extra zeros in. We don't waste our time sort of looking at, oh, hey, this is a low number. If you haven't done this already, I like to go to row visibility, and it'll bring up everybody. And these people who are no longer in our class, we don't need to worry about them. So I'll click those. We'll click Hide Rows, and then Submit. And they are no longer in our class. So that makes this screen even a little bit more efficient to work with. The last thing I like to do is I like to do color coding. So we'll go to Grading Color Codes. And you can kind of organize this however you feel is effective. You want to make sure that you click this little box, Enable Grading Color Codes, because even if you add something, if that's not clicked, it won't show up. So what I'll do is add criteria, and I'll maybe do less than, let's say, 65, just so it's on the borderline there. If you want to do who's getting an A, who's getting a C, if you want to break it down however you want, I just like to look at the students that I'll need to definitely follow up within the retention center. And I'll use a bright bold color so it stands out. Of course, we have this lovely palette of a variety of colors, so I'll go with red. Click Apply, and then hit Submit. Once again, if you don't hit Submit, it will not work. So, and here we go. So now we can see right away the students who are a little bit in trouble, and we want to follow up with those when we do the retention center. Or if you are the co-instructor, however the retention center has been organized with you and your main instructor. So those are just some couple things that I like to do just to set up the grade book. Another thing is sometimes we'll need to double check these little carets, these little orange triangles here, because sometimes if a grade has been submitted after we've already entered a 0, Blackboard's a little tricky. Sometimes they don't always show up. So every so often when you're going through the grade book, make sure that these numbers are accurate. Sometimes when we put a 0, it will say it's a 0, but then there might be something like an attempt, and we can take a look at maybe they finished half the assignment but didn't submit it. For whatever reason, we can still give them credit. Sometimes even an actual attempt at a grade or a grade that's been submitted afterwards will pop up, but this way we can keep everything up to date because we may be able to see that grade on our end, but it'll still show as a 0 to the student. So that's just something to be concerned. Our current version of Blackboard, not seeing that as so much of a problem as in previous versions, but it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. But I just want to share a couple of those things. Getting everybody on the same screen, something that I like to do, making sure that only active students are available in our grade book, and then also this color coding thing I think really works. Feel free to use any of these tips. Have a great week. Thanks a lot.